Well, back then we not really, yeah, an official and kind of like a committee member.
Right, committee member, right,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yes.
Right. So you started in which year?
I started in 1988, late 88.
Man, that feels so long ago.
It's long ago.
I was thinking I started in 1991 or something.
91?
Yeah, that
it
was
could
a
have
long
been a
time
couple of
ago.
years. Yeah, a couple of years later, yeah.
All right, so when you first came to Barbados Sports Club, how did you hear about it?
Well, when I first came to Canada, I came and I stayed at a guy named Wayne Lord. So Wayne Lord used to be a part of Barbados Sports Club. He used to be a goalie for Barbados Sports Club. So he called up Gene Burgess, right? And Gene Burgess connect with me, and he would come and pick me up. Between Gene Burgess and Raw Small, would come and pick me up and take me down to the soccer field, which was down at Vaughan Road back then.
So around that time, the team was great, good, okay.
The team was solid.
What did you think with the club at that time?
At that time, the team was solid. The club, well, I think the club was solid. We had a really good thing going because it wasn't only about soccer, right? It's about newcomers and making guys feel comfortable and stuff, right? We were hoping to expand it into more, but we never got to that. So it was good for newcomers coming in.
There were some really good times with Barbados Sports Club. Can you recall any times that really stood out to you?
You know, I mean, like I said, for me, I would say the first 5 years or so when I was in the club, that whole time stood out for me. 'Cause like I said, I was new. I felt welcome, right? I felt encouraged to get involved. I felt encouraged to bring my family out, right? And I felt encouraged because of the atmosphere. So for me, I would say any one thing, there wasn't one thing, right? It was everything about the club that was good. You know, the fundraising events, everything was good. It was all hands on board and everything was together.
There was a long history. After meeting some of the old players, I realized they had table tennis, netball,
Yeah.
basketball. Like they
It was
had
a club.
so much things going.
It was a club, and that's why it was named Barbados Sports Club, right? But then it just eluded for somehow to be a soccer club.
So how many years did you actually play for the club and was involved with the club?
Well, I played for the club from the time I came in 1988, and I played until I was 35. So I came here in 1988, I was 24, so I'm thinking about 11 years.
During the time when you decided that you were not going to play with the club anymore, what made you decide to make a transition like that?
Well, we didn't make a transition. We was forced to make a transition. Things started getting down. We didn't have the people to really step up and keep the club together. Then the club was taken over by Floyd, and it went a different direction. Right? We didn't have that same general meeting, people running for positions, you know. So it went a different direction, right?
I got a key question, which is like, I mean, like you kind of made a move where you started your own thing, right? And what was it that made you not fight hard to continue that Barbados Sports Club activity?
Well, to be honest with you, we did fight hard, right? We did fight hard, but to fight hard, we would have to have control of the club, the bank account, and everything, right? Like I said, Floyd was the person who was in charge with that. He wasn't willing to give it up. Apparently, whoever he was talking to behind the scenes was not willing to give it up. I had guys on board that I said, listen, we need to get Barbados Sports Club back together. We need to get it back where it should be. I had guys, I mean, like Wayne Gittins, Ivor, Andrew Lane, Frank Seeley, all these guys was willing to come back and work on the club, but it wasn't given to us to work on it, right?
Would you say that the community lost a good part of it when the Barbados Sports Club kind of dismantled?
Yeah, it did. It did, because when I made the move to something different, it was more about having something to represent Barbados, right? Just to keep that name out there, right? And I knew at that time it would take a while to grow. I knew we had to start it as soccer, because soccer was the base, that I had, where all the guys wanted to still play soccer. So I thought I would start it there, but I don't think we could have ever get back that community, family feeling, right? Because everybody's getting older, people were transitioning, right? It was hard to find. And when we started the club, we had, I think 90% of the club was Barbadians, right?
Do you think that it was a mistake with recruiting in order to keep the club going? Because, I mean, you gotta have younger players coming in all the time. Like, we can't play forever. Do you think that was kind of like a mistake that was made throughout the years?
You said not recruiting or recruiting?
Not recruiting.
Yeah, it was
not trying to get those
right.
young players coming in.
So the problem with that was that what I was trying to do was have fundraising, raise money, because I noticed that young players coming in, one, didn't have the financial backing to pay club fees, one, and two, a lot of them didn't want to pay club fees, which I was okay with, right, as long as I had the commitment, the dedication to the club, right? So a lot of other people wasn't in agreement with that. Everybody felt that everybody should pay because they're not committed, and if they're not committed, then why are we taking fees and paying for people that are not committed, right? And we say commitment, we mean like coming to practice, being on time, coming to the games. If you're not coming, calling and say, hey, I can't make the game, or what the case may be. A lot of games we went to, we weren't sure who was coming. Sometimes, we end up playing short. Some of us had to put on back our gear and go and play, right?
Yeah, that's real tough. Like, over the years, we lost a lot of players, and sometimes it's sad. I was talking to some of the older guys, like the really older guys, and they said that it's kind of sad that at their age now, in the 80s, that they don't have players or ex-players that they can just sit and talk and just kind of communicate with about the years. Because after the football, just the conversation is just all that's needed. Yeah. And it's kind of sad that they don't have that right now.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a good point, because that was all in the plans, right? To even now, a few years ago, I tried reaching out and saying, hey, let's get all these old guys back together, all of them. Let's, the association I ran now, the Barbados Ambassadors, we were willing, because everybody on the Barbados Ambassadors is ex-Barbados Sports Club. So they all still have Barbados Sports Club in their heart, right? So they were like, let's get all these old guys together, let's have a function, we'll finance it, bring them out, have a dinner, sit down and talk with them, honor them and stuff. And we reach out to certain names to help us get together, and they refuse.
Yeah, some people say that it was, for some people, it was hard to let go of some things. Right. And they think that was kind of like a mistake, right? I remember I was talking to Vincent Skeete. He said he started the Barbados Sports Club. And he said to actually acquire the name Barbados, it was a big deal. He had to kind of twist hands a little bit within the city of Toronto, to get the name Barbados, because it means you represent a country. A country, yeah. And now that you've got the Barbados Ambassadors, did you have to go through the same kind of hassle, or not really? Well,
we did. I'm not sure what he had to go through, because all we had to do was come up with a name. We filed the name with the registry. If there's any other names that has that name, then you have to contact them to use that name. If they don't, then you pay your money and everything goes through the system, right? You present your board members and stuff, you present your constitution, everything, and it goes through the system.
Yeah, he said the city councilor was saying this is a great idea for new people coming into the country, where they can acclimatize to the country, and just being under the Barbados umbrella, it will be good so they won't get out of trouble, don't get in trouble and all that stuff. So that was great for newcomers especially.
Right, and that's, like I said, that's why we want to keep Barbados Sports Club going, because the name was out there, right? Everybody knew the name, right? It had a history and everything. Even now, like sometimes I see some of the old guys that played against us back in the days of T&D and stuff. They say, hey, welcome to Barbados Sports Club. What's going on there, right? So it was a very disappointment for a lot of people not to be able to continue it, myself included. A lot of people feel that I'm the reason why Barbados Sports Club is no longer.
Sometimes I get that feeling too, like based on conversations, right? But I'm glad that you kind of mentioned what you mentioned, because I mean, people kind of hint at that. They stop short of saying that, right? So, I mean, I guess because you went on to start Barbados Ambassadors. Did you get any flack from the other players or the other members when you started?
Well, a few people called me and said, why are you doing this? Why not revive Barbados Sports Club? And I explained to them why I did not revive Barbados Sports Club. Like I said, when I spoke to the person in charge then, because what had happened, we didn't just get up and say, let's do this. The person was in charge of the club for almost 3 years, right? Money was being spent in a league that no one from Barbados was playing on.
Which league was that?
It was a league, because I had gone out one time and played a game with them. It was a player down by Centennial, that area. I'm not sure what league it was, but it was a lot of different Italian teams and a lot of makeup teams and stuff. I never really investigated, right? So after we sat dormant for like 3 years and there's nothing going on, nobody calling around, no functions being held, no fees being paid. So we contact the person, so listen, you know what, you haven't done anything for 3 years. I got guys here that wants to work and bring it back. And we were told, no, if you guys are going to do anything, tell me what you want to do and I'll do it.
Well, there's one thing we know for sure, that you were really passionate about getting things done.
Yeah.
by any means necessary. So I think losing a person like you might have been the key for them, kind of falling behind a little bit. Do you think there'll ever be a revival of the Barbados Sports Club?
I would love that. I would love nothing more than that.
But what would have to happen, because we were saying it must be very easy or easier,
right?
Because we have social media now. There's no reason not to recruit and have like new people coming from Barbados, because I think that's the key too. Because the Canadians, they're okay, but having those fresh people from Barbados is very important, right?
Right.
Do you think that you see something like that happening down the future, or maybe?
Well, I mean, it could happen, but it would take a lot of planning. The reason being the Barbados Ambassadors is a twofold, right? It was created mainly for soccer, but then it moved into charity, right? So we have the charity school in Barbados, which is a school for kids with disabilities and stuff that we 100% support, right? All of our funds go to Barbados to do projects, to buy soccer gear, to breakfast program, scholarships, and everything, right? So to revive Barbados Sports Club we probably have to have a coming together, right? Where maybe ambassadors still remain doing that, Barbados Sports Club become the sports part of it, right? And go back to probably trying to form the soccer, the volleyball, whatever sports. But it takes manpower also.
The organization in Barbados, I think is like, why are you so passionate about that organization? Is any connection with it?
Yeah, well, I know my little sister who was Down syndrome. She went to school there, and my mom used to work there. So when I was in Barbados working, I saw firsthand what the school needed. I knew inside information how the government supports it, right, and what they get from the government. So they depend a lot on outside help, right?
And I know you lost your sister, right?
Yeah, back in 2021.
I'm sorry for your loss.
It's very important. Like I said, I saw firsthand how kids with disabilities and stuff are treated in Barbados, right? And how a lot of people scorn away from them. Right now, we started the scholarship program because a lot of the kids, when they finish Hill School, there was nowhere to go, right? 90% of the kids go home and they're kept in the house for the rest of their life, right? So, the scholarship program, every year, maybe 2 or 3 people we get to that show some kind of talent. They get to go to Polytechnic to continue a skill. Don't care what a skill it was, whatever it was. It could be knitting, it could be whatever. All right, they get to come and we fully finance that, from uniforms to courses to equipment, everything.
Well, I think that you're putting me onto something now which I think is very important, and I think you exposing that so people can hear and see more about that is important. I mean, a lot of times we don't know about those kids.
Right.
Like you said, a lot of times they're just locked away in the house. You don't ever see them.
Yeah. You know what? The name is still there. For us to bring back Barbados Sports Club, you would need like me to educate my kids, you to educate your kids, all the guys that went through it to educate their kids and say, listen, this is something, this is what it was, this is what it did for your dad, right? Can we get you guys interested in it?
I think it's good. I'll share my point, but I think that I'll talk more about when I'm talking, but I think getting those people from Barbados that who are new to the country is very important because I think the kids, they don't have that same kind of passion. Our kids that were born here, they don't really have the same kind of drive. So I think it's important that with social media now, we could actually kind of get that information over so that people can hear and see. And maybe Barbados Sports Club is done, but maybe now with the Barbados ambassadors, maybe here's a chance, an opportunity to actually bring more people in and get them involved.
Yeah, and like I said, the issue was also manpower, right? You have to have people with like minds and like drive and everything to come on board and help. Maybe some people may come with different ideas. Like you said, social media, young people may have different ideas and come in and bring stuff that we're not even thinking about.
Yeah,
right? Because now we're getting to the age where, you know, where we're looking at those guys at that age 20 years ago, right? Now we're there now, right? So here's who's behind us, right? You know what I mean? So
that's true. Mark, thanks for your time, man.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, thanks, man.